We need much more real action just like this. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida revoking Hyatt Regency Miami's liquor license for hosting a drag performance for adults and underage kids. I'm talking about under the age of 16. There might have been some babies there, some toddlers, kids that should not be in an adult environment were there. So as a result of that, they're like, okay, check it out. You guys, you want to have a bar, you want to have events, you want to serve alcohol, well, you can't do that anymore because we're going to take your license away. Now, depending upon which news source you read, they'll say a thing like, DeSantis seeks to revoke liquor license. They filed paperwork to revoke liquor license. Well, ultimately, what I've been able to see is that the liquor license is gone. So this hotel right there in Brickell, downtown Miami, is not going to be able to sell alcohol anymore because of what they did. Now, before I go any further, let's go ahead and roll a news clip. If you want to see this news clip without my commentary, the link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio and go to the corresponding article on my website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Agency in Miami could soon be cut dry. The state of Florida has revoked its liquor license for hosting a drag queen performance where kids were present, violating existing state law. And Local 10's Cody Weddle live now in Miami with a sudden crackdown. Cody.
And Calvin, the DeSantis administration is saying that the Hyatt hosted a highly sexualized drag queen performance with children present, and they say that violates existing Florida statute.
Why is it even a debate? Why is it even a thing that we got to talk about? Like, oh, maybe it's a violation, maybe it's inappropriate, maybe it's illegal. I think we should all agree that children should not be present during adult sexual type stuff. Leave the kids out of it. If you guys want to do that as adults, knock yourself out. Go for it. I'm not here to stop you, but leave the kids alone. How about that?
The Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation moving to suspend the liquor license of the Hyatt Regency in downtown Miami. The decision comes after the hotel hosted this event titled A Drag Queen Christmas on December 27th. In a 17-page complaint, the state agency accuses the business of allowing children into the event. When Tallahassee became aware of the pending show, officials sent this letter warning that, quote, sexually explicit drag show performances constitute public nuisances, lewd activity, and disorderly conduct when minors are in attendance.
So let's pause right here. Before the show even happened, they were aware of it in the state capital, Tallahassee, Florida. So they sent a letter warning them like, hey, this is going to be a violation if you do this because you can't have kids present at a thing like this. If you want to have your show, that's fine, but you are not allowed to have children there. There was a warning, and obviously the warning was not heeded.
While event organizers then changed the information online, recommending it only for adults, minors accompanied by adults were still allowed to attend. The complaint alleges that children witnessed, quote, performers forcibly penetrating or rubbing their exposed prosthetic female breasts against the faces or oral cavities of audience members.
Okay, if you got little kids watching, I'm sorry. And this is the exact problem. For me to even have to apologize for simply reading to you what happened, imagine what children are going to experience by being there and seeing it in person, okay? I'm almost embarrassed to read this, and I'm a fully grown adult. So children most certainly should not be exposed to this kind of stuff. You see what's going on. I don't have to read all of it. You guys can see what's happening on the screen. You can see section D right here of this. I don't need to read that. Y'all can read it right there on the screen. You can see the highlighted part I just read live on the newscast. This is completely adult stuff that should only be for adults. No children should ever be exposed to anything like this. This is really pornography. And since when did anybody think that it was okay to show pornography to little, like, minors?
Also, traditional Christmas songs altered and sexualized during the show. Reach for comment, Governor DeSantis' office saying on December 27th, the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation warned the Hyatt Regency Miami against hosting a sexually explicit show with children present. The venue proceeded with their plans. So again, the governor is using current existing Florida statute that prohibits lewd activity while children are present. So it's unrelated to another proposed bill that would give the state even further authority to crack down on drag shows. We have reached out to the Hyatt, but we have not heard back.
So there you have it out there in Miami. Miami, I like Miami. I like going to Florida. I like being out there, right there where the hotel is, Brickell. It's a really nice area. I've not been to that Hyatt specifically, but yeah, they're in trouble. Liquor license is going to be gone, and they deserve to have that revoked. If there was a flyer, first of all, there's already existing state statutes, so there's no excuse to do a thing like this. You can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, there's already laws in the books, and ignorance is no excuse to the law. You can't say, "Oh, no, I didn't know. I couldn't just go out there and shoot people." No, you can't just say I didn't know. That's no excuse, first of all. Second of all, after the flyer got out to the public and Tallahassee found out, they sent a warning saying, hey, don't do this. This is going to be a violation. Don't do it. You can't have kids here. You want to have your event, fine. Only for adults, no children. But then they changed the wording on their website thinking they can just scoot around it, talking about recommended for age 18 and older. Recommended? If I go to buy a gun in the store, they're not going to say, oh, recommended that you have your paperwork in order, that your background check clears, that you're over X, Y, Z age. They're not going to say it's going to be a requirement, not recommended. So, of course, kids still showed up with, quote unquote, adult chaperones. What kind of adult is going to bring a child to a drag queen performance? Different story. I digress. The whole point is they were warned. They refused to listen to the warning. And now, as a result, the liquor license for the Hyatt down there in Brickell revoked, and they deserve it. They most certainly deserve it. And if not, somebody need to go to the penitentiary. I think liquor license being revoked is the least that could happen. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Some are going to say, well, this is too far, man. Come on. They're taking license away. First of all, who would say it's too far? It's not too far at all. It's actually right on point. They are really not going far enough. And I like that DeSantis and the state of Florida are actually fighting back against this kind of stuff. A lot of other places, they just kind of roll over and just let stuff happen. They don't really care too much. They don't want to have any trouble, no problems. They just kind of let stuff go on. But they're like, no, we're not going to do that out here in Florida, which is why people are flocking to Florida left and right. Real estate prices going up. Everything's going up because of everybody wanting to come down there for safe haven. Very simple. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think this is a good thing by DeSantis and the administration out there in Florida to take the license away, the liquor license away from this Hyatt and Brickell, Miami, because of the drag queen performance? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. I like what Florida is doing, standing up against this kind of ridiculous woke nonsense. And more states should follow suit. Because if we don't, then they're just going to win. You're just going to have kids and, you're going to have all minors at events like this. It's going to be an obvious breeding ground for, we know what it is. At a certain point, certain parts of the population cannot reproduce. And the only way they can increase their numbers or to fulfill their needs is to recruit, is to brainwash, is to groom, unfortunately. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.